A little earlier this evening. There's your moonshot. It's lighter out so it actually shows up. Now, we'll zoom away and come back down to earth. What's left of the sunset. And some calves. Frogs just started making noise. They'll get more serious in probably another week. We'll hear them in the trailer with all the windows shut. There's Lena. No, that's not her calf over there. That's 224's calf. I think that one. It just ran out. Yeah, I think that's Lena's calf. Seems to me she got a tick in her back and a little extra white. And these two wondering what I'm doing. And both of them just had their noses over here in what's left of the tubs. And that little boy right there would be Minnie Moo's calf. He just walked up here. 71 AE, that would be Dancer's calf. That is Lena's grandson right there. And he's really going to town on that chunk. I figured it's too warm to stay in the house much anyway. It's actually just about right out here right now. And I figured to say I'd get you what we had left of the sunset and the moon. Just a little quiet time. It's kind of nice. Not too many cars on the highway, so I'm not listening to them right now. I hear a few, but not too bad. I actually hear somebody up there on the hill. Yeah, coming to the intersection, quarter mile away. Oh well. I had to look and see what's over here for gates and stuff. When we still had out front, it was stacked up out there and all organized where you could get to everything. And we had to move all that stuff a little over a year ago. It got crammed back here. And then this corner here got fenced off, so yeah, just a little bit of the junk. A lot of rotten stuff in here, half rotten. Some of those 6x6s will make decent blocks, and that's about it. I came back to look through the gates. Need a couple. And I was going to move the railroad ties earlier, but that one's still a full bundle. And I'm not going to get off the machine to move the stickers that are under it. I got to get to the other one. We're probably going to use most of the rest of it. Hopefully we can get something done with that tomorrow, but I don't do well in the heat, especially this early in the year. So we'll see what we bring you tomorrow. And yeah, somebody going from Seattle to LA. They go over here. They go over to the east a little bit. Wade, this is your ambulance part, contemplating whatever. I can give you a little over 4 minutes of it. And I'm going to shut it off, and I'll pick it up in the morning and probably forget everything I said tonight. You zoom, but there's deer there. One lined up with the second steel post from the right. And looks like 3 between the center 2 steel fence posts. And 1 or 2 off toward the left steel fence post. Should be at least 7 of them up there. They're the ones that came down when we were burying that calf the other day. When I walked into the barn before I went to dig the hole, I watched them run across the top of that hump. There's a big flat before it goes up to those trees up above there. And they were running right across this edge of it into the neighbor's trees. And, you know, had the hole dug. And next thing I know, they'd all sneak their way around to see what was going on and came in down below. I figured I'd show you how much light wasn't shining up on across the road yet, because there really isn't any yet. And dead center of the screen, that's a cherry tree. Ancient frickin' cherry tree that's, I don't know how it's still standing, it's so rotten. It flowered up again. I figured all those cold mornings, because it was in the process of putting flowers out, I figured that it would take care of it. And who knows, there may be cherries on it, there may not be. Oh well, enough rambling. I gotta get inside the shop to do something before everybody gets here. Hopefully there's more than one or two people. Either way, I still finish cleaning up what we did last night and get a hole in the floor, I hope. Today, number 1 and number 2 just headed back out. They're finishing putting a few steel fence posts in. It's only 87 degrees and barely 3:30 in the afternoon. Feels just freaking wonderful. Always nice when you go from, like 60, 62 for a high for about a week to, let's see if we can get the mid 80s. And from freezing every morning to between 40 and 50 degrees. Dug that gate out. I'm going to find some hinge sets for it. It's going to go up in part of the new fence we're putting in. One part across the creek behind the barn down here we can't get into anymore. Trees you can see down there by the pump site. That's an old washout or whatever. You used to be able to get through above it, but it's sloughed off and got narrow enough and a little too tippy. I can't get the fertilizer buggy through there at all. And Mom can't get the pasture harrow through there without losing it into the trees. Unless she wants to take the fence out, so we'll just put a gate at the other end so we can actually at least get into there from someplace. And plan was to get some posts in the ground today besides the rest of the steel ones. But I'm sorry, too hot, too quick. None of us take the freaking heat very well. Only saving grace is instead of being 60% humidity, we're 26%. But all the posts are out there, all the braces are out there. All the steel posts have insulators on them. So they've only got a few left to put in. So that means hopefully in the morning it'll be cool enough and might have a little extra help, and we can actually get them in, at least get the ones in we have to have in right now to get the cows out of the lot. We can get the cows out, that means we can get the bulls out. That's going to be a half a day job itself, separating cows and calves to where they go. Actually, I don't think it'll be too bad this year though, because the 2-year-olds are going to go with the yearlings with one bull. And almost everybody else will be with the other bull. There'll be a few exceptions. So anyway, I'd have took you with me earlier, but short wheelbase skid steer, bouncing across pasture. I made 4 trips out there packing stuff. I had a hard enough time getting beat up. But what I have gotten done, and I'm going to work on it here directly. The only thing I don't have in this piece is the holes to actually bolt the valve to it, but that's a piece the valve will bolt to. It'll bolt to the cross members underneath the cab. I'm making a video, phone rings, of course. But I just picked up where I left off, right? Number 1 just called me to tell me that they found a baby Ichabod down at the creek on their way by. The cranes around here, we call them Ichabod. There's a nesting pair not too far. And actually we found a carcass of a dead one this year. First time ever seen one of those, but they just found a baby one in the creek. Well, there's where the valve should poke through the floor. I had to creep it closer to the seat because I got to have room for the fittings to the outside before I get into the wiring and all the air lines. And that'll actually probably give me a little bit of room to get back to the electrical. I already tweaked the short valves handles. Might have to tweak the long ones, but that's no big deal because they come in and out easily. Just got this over to keep the junk out of it. So anyway, I told number one, get a little video of the little bugger, because I've never seen a baby one other than, you know, on TV or something. So, but I'm going to see what I can get done here now. And once again, yes, it's way too freaking hot because, yeah, I don't mind it if it heats up cool. I've actually gotten to where I can handle 100-degree heat later in the year when it works up to it, but not when it tries to get there in 3 days. That don't work for me. Well, the set of holes my plate's on are back just a touch too far. I can't see it. I gotta space the valve this way. I thought 1/8 of an inch would do it, but I gotta go 3/8 of an inch, so I gotta find some more pieces, but screw it. I think I'm done for the night. It's only almost 7 o'clock. So stick around to the very end here. I'm gonna throw a couple clips that number one did and say, hi, Ben.
Hi.
He's been helping me try to muddle duck with that for probably the last 20 minutes. And, you know, it's just time. Give up for a little bit.
My baby's done that about 4 times kicking. Then you can actually hear him hit the side of her on the inside. Right in there, there's a little bit more pressure because he's moving a little bit. Sorry, it's not a very good video. It's a little shaky, but it's actually right in the middle of your screen is little bird, and it's actually a baby. My sister's trying to sneak around to get a better video of him.